What's up, everyone? Welcome to the No Life Gaming Show, episode 5. I think we're on episode 5 now, which is pretty crazy. Awesome. Rocking and rolling. I hope you all have enjoyed the previous shows, and I hope we will continue to entertain you. Today, we haven't been playing too many games. There's a lot of prep going into a lot of this E3 stuff. There's not really new games coming out. So we're going to be talking about our E3 guesses in the first half of the show, where we usually talk about what we've been playing. Then we're going to get into some gaming news. Then we're going to talk about this whole Intel AMD debacle that's been going on YouTube between Linus and now Jay's 2 cents. And the bigger tech guys, they're all exclaiming their problems with the new Intel release model. And then I want to talk about the new WWDC Apple show that was today. And it seems like Apple is kind of losing their edge and losing their feel in the market. They're not really commanding trends anymore. It seems like they're playing catch up, and that's something we're going to be talking about later in the show. So without any further ado, let's bring on the co-host. Actually, before we do, don't forget to head over to our Twitter at No Life's Gaming. Make sure you give us a follow. That's where we're going to be posting up all our updates on shows, news, tech, products, reviews, all that good stuff goes up right up on our Twitter before it goes anywhere else. And make sure that you hit up our Twitch /no_lives. And again, give us a follow there so you get updated whenever we go live on our streams. Because right now we don't have a schedule, but we will be putting one up soon. We're going to be trying to figure out what's the best streaming schedule that we can do. At least 1 or 2 consistent shows for you so you guys can know when to expect some stuff other than this show right now. All right, yeah. So let's bring on the co-host again. What's up, my dudes?
What up, dude?
What's that?
I think we should announce to the audience right now who's listening that Jerry actually cuts his own hair.
Yeah.
And we're not even kidding. We're not kidding.
Yeah, cut my own hair. I don't know. I've done it for 8 years, and I've gotten all right at it, I guess.
It's impressive.
It does look like it doesn't look like you cut your own hair. So that's basically what you want.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. Because I'd like to think I'm gotten pretty good at it. I did. I used to be friends with a actual hairstylist, and he was always really impressed whenever I would do it. So I was always like, all right, there's my seal of approval.
Yeah, that's how I used to get my haircuts back in the day. I know like 2 or 3 girls that went to hair school. So every time, I needed a haircut, I'd be like, hey, why don't you come over and I'll smoke a blunt with you and you can cut my hair or something like that.
Is it me or because I had a friend like that as well. Is it me or did they take forever to cut your hair? No matter what it was. It would take like an hour. You would have to sit there and have them cut your hair.
Yeah, pretty much. Like one time I had one of them I knew just come over just to like fucking, line me up, shave my head and all that good stuff. And she took the longest I've ever, like I could have shaved my own head like 6 times by then.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous, man.
I don't know. I guess they have to do it.
I burned my bridges with my last hairstylist in a very interesting way.
And how was that?
Yeah, that sounds like a story, man.
We got intimate.
Oh.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping she fucked your hair up or something. You had to go to school the next day with a fucked up head.
No, I knew her because she was my hairstylist since I was 14.
Oh my God.
Yep, and she, at the time when we got intimate, she was 37, and I was 20.
Nice.
So, yeah, and then it got weird. And then she stopped talking to me.
So that's what happened. And then where'd you go to get your hair cut?
Then my brother started cutting my hair.
I bet that was so awkward, man. It's like, as soon as it was over with, you're like, fuck, who's going to cut my hair now? Jesus.
The story had the funniest ending, though. At 4 a.m, after we're done, she took me to get hot chocolate.
Oh, that sounds like a nice little treat.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Well, sounds like a nice little treat.
It's a story, I tell you.
Well, there's a PSA. Learn how to cut your own hair.
Learn how to cut your own hair. And that's the moral of the story. Right on. All right.
You won't be terrified when you can't get someone to cut it for you.
Also, I think we should also announce to the audience that Jerry, not only does he cut his own hair, but his hair is divided up into 4 different quadrants. He has both sides of his head are different sizes, The top of his head is a different size, and the back of his head is a different size. Or is it this
Yeah.
one side and the back are one size?
Nope, it's for all right. Welcome to the Jerry Hair Hour here. Yeah, this side I do the hipster asymmetrical cut. So this side's a different side, this side's a different side, back's different side, and then the top is all very nicely, finely hand scissored.
Yeah. I think that makes it more impressive that you cut your own hair with 4 different sizes.
It's because me and my friend, when we were like 18, we both like decided, no, like your head, it's a quadrant. There's, this,
Yeah.
this, and this. And it just stuck with us. So it's like, no, it's 4. It makes sense.
I'm scared to cut my own hair, but I think if I just did it, I wouldn't be like, I don't think it's that difficult where I should be worried about it.
Oh yeah, Wayne, why don't you try?
Because the top of my
Why
head,
don't you go ahead and try then?
the top of my head, I don't really cut nowadays because I just want to grow it out to like down to my chin. And it's really just the sides and the back, which is just at a 5. It's like I just take a 5 and just cut it. But
Yeah, that's what this is. I mean, if you do that, like it's I don't know, you'll mess up probably the first time, but like after a couple of times, it makes sense.
I'm a YouTube personality. I don't know if I can come on camera and I've got like a huge chunk missing out of my head.
Well, then you just shave it all.
Yeah,
Then
but then
you
I
just keep
look
wearing-
like Mr. Conehead.
then you just keep wearing beanies.
Yes, you're right.
We come from France.
I think you're right. Well, if you think about it, it cost me about $20 to cut my hair. It's like $15-$16 plus tip. So you multiply that by 12. That's a pretty penny that you're saving. That's another.
Or you buy a $20 set of razors.
Yeah.
Like, a razor set, hair trimming set, and
Which
some
I already
scissors.
have for other parts of my body.
For other grooming needs.
Yes. Every male should have a nice, good set of, what are they called? Clippers.
Clippers, yeah.
Manscaping.
Yeah, some manscaping. All right, well, without further ado, let's move on to our topic of the day. E3 guesses. E3's coming up. It's going to be fucking, I don't know. Haven't been too excited about this E3 as I have been for past E3s. It's just because this year so far has been so phenomenal in gaming. I'm still playing games that are just amazing and I still haven't finished them, which is kind of unheard of. Like Zelda, I'm still playing Zelda. I'm still playing The Surge. I'm still playing Persona. There no end in sight, and E3's coming up. I don't know. I'm not too excited because I've gotten a lot of games that I've been pretty excited about. So
Not only that, but you're kind of like, what's left?
yeah, exactly. So let's talk about it. So I think we should just go down into each, the big 3 and see what our predictions are. I guess we could start with actually let's start with Nintendo. Doobie, you're the resident Nintendo dude. What are you expecting coming out of Nintendo? Anything interesting and new?
Well, for one, definitely Super Mario. We got the new Super Mario game, which is looking like it's going back to that Sunshine Super Mario 64. Less for the casual gamer and more for like the harder platformer, which I'm excited about. I mean, Sunshine 64, I really loved those games. I still love those games. Some information on the new Fire Emblem Warriors. It's pretty self-explanatory. Hyrule Warriors. It's Fire Emblem meets Dynasty Warriors. It's
Really good.
mindless fun.
It's really good.
And Fire Emblem's a fantastic franchise to do it with. I think the big things to look for Nintendo for make or break is going to be, one, third-party support. And that's in terms not of like AAA third-party support. Yeah, we got FIFA 18 coming. That's cool. There's the NBA 2K18s coming. Like, that's cool. We got the sports games. The Wii U never had sports games. That's already a step in the right direction. But I think, like, indies-wise, we're covered. It's going to be a great indie machine. It's going to have the third-party support there. But where has it got the support from EA? Where has it got the support from... I mean, we know that Bethesda is supporting it with... I mean, it's Skyrim, but still, that's a good step in the right direction going forward. And then, on top of that, what else do we have coming in the future? Maybe surprises. I want to see a new Metroid. Retro Studios is working on something. They've been teasing little things here and there on Twitter, like they showed a picture of a prime steak, So I'm hoping to see something from them. If it's Donkey Kong, that's cool. I like Donkey Kong. The last one was really good, Tropical Freeze. If it's a new IP, that's really cool too. I personally want to see Metroid. That's one of my favorite franchises. It's not a console seller, but in America, it's more popular than in Japan. And that's what E3 really is. It's an American show. It's not for Japan.
True.
Yeah, it's not Tokyo Game Show.
No, that's where you're going to see your big Japanese games that Americans really aren't going to give a crap about. Yeah. This is the perfect place to put Metroid. You wouldn't show that off at TGS. You'd show it off at E3.
You know what I think would be really cool, but I don't think will happen, but I'm secretly really hoping?
Mario plus Rabbids?
We know that's coming. That's the worst. That is the worst kept secret of 2017.
Yeah, we need to hurry up and find out what the fuck all that is about, if you know what I mean.
I'm hearing XCOM meets Mario. Mario's got a gun. It's weird. The Rabbids are kind of annoying. They're kind of like the fucking minions of the video game world.
Jerry, are you about to say that you want an Animal Crossing for Switch?
That would be good.
I was gonna say it's been 5 years. I really want a new Animal Crossing for Switch.
That would be really good.
We're getting it on mobile. That's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, I want the actual game. Like that would get me to buy a Switch.
Yeah, I know Andrew. I know Andrew wants Bayonetta 3.
Bayonetta, yeah.
Yeah. And I would love a Bayonetta 3 and Monster Hunter Double Cross. Yeah.
Monster Hunter Triple X.
Yeah. If they announce that's coming to the US too, that's going to be big.
Monster Hunter XXX Tenation.
Followed by the DLC pack, Monster Hunter Triple H.
Oh God, the game. And then of course Pokemon. There's a Pokemon Direct coming
tomorrow, right?
Yeah, this will air after the Direct's already up, so we won't have anything to talk about on the Direct tonight because it comes out tomorrow morning.
It's coming out tomorrow, aka it's already out. Go watch it.
It's already out to you guys. So.
And it's only going to be like 7 minutes long, I think.
8 minutes long. Yeah, it's only 8 minutes long. But I mean, really, 3 minutes to show a new trailer for a new game, whether that be a remake of Diamond or Platinum Pearl from Gen 4, which I could see coming, or if it's the rumored Stars, the third game in the Sun and Moon franchise, and whether or not it's going to be on the Switch or 3DS.
Can they just make another, can they make the third version of Red, Blue, and Yellow for the Switch?
There's a rumor that they might make a sequel to Red, Blue.
I'm not going to lie.
I'm going to say the end of Sun and Moon has one of the main characters going to Kanto, which is where Red and Blue take place. And the idea would be, this would be a sequel to Red and Blue where you go back to Kanto, but now it's set in the future of this whole storyline. You're going to run into the main character from Sun and Moon, one of the main characters. And I'm like, that's kind of a cool idea, but do we really need to go back to the same? We already had one remake of it. Do we need a second remake of that game?
Yes, because I can only name 200 Pokemon, and they're not from the last 10 years.
I was about to say,
they're going to add another 80.
I really like, new Pokemon and stuff, I guess, but I've never really kept up with it that much since Red, Blue, and Green and Yellow.
Red, Blue, Yellow, and then the Silver and Platinum and Gold or whatever.
Gold.
The second gen after second gen.
I didn't even get into second gen, to be honest with you. I just really like first gen. I will occasionally play the new ones, but I don't keep up with them.
Gen 3 was Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. They got remade. Second gen got remade with Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Gen 4, if we're going in the line of remakes, Gen 4 would be the next one in line for a remake. But there's a lot of options on the table. It's going to be really interesting to see what they have to offer. And Pokemon Go, what was it? They raised their profits 26 times.
Exponentially.
Yeah. They went from 14 billion to 147 billion. It was ridiculous.
Not only that, but Pokemon Go is supposed to get in some kind of new multiplayer update or something.
They're talking about PvP and legendaries this summer, which is kind of what they need to really get people back into the game. Because I feel like people are kind of they lose that excitement for it.
Yeah, no, that game's been dead since last October.
Yeah, I mean they introduced Gen 2, but
does someone have a bird?
I heard that too.
My window is open. That's probably a bird outside.
A fucking loud ass bird.
Welcome to my neighborhood.
Damn, what do you live in the fucking zoo?
No, there's just a lot of birds.
He lives in a Disney movie.
It's loud if you want to shut your window or something.
I hear the plane now.
I'm not too excited about Pokemon, to be honest, unless they do something new. I don't really like the Pokemon formula. I know a lot of people really do enjoy it, so I don't think they're gonna change it anytime soon. But I'm still waiting for like a Pokemon I don't know, top-down isometrical RPG style Pokemon action RPG where you
want to play Mystery Dungeon then.
Yeah, pretty much, but with the Pokemon IP. Like, I think I would really enjoy that.
It is.
That's what it is, yeah.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Oh, is it?
That is a franchise of games.
Is it good though, or is it stupid?
They're pretty fun if you like that style. I'm not a big fan of those. I'm not a big fan of that Dream Odyssey, like those kinds of games. So it's not.
Well, I mean, Mystery Dungeon is a style of roguelike RPG. It's not just the name of the game. It's like a whole style. So,
yeah, they're top-down action RPGs.
I've never heard of this Mystery Dungeon.
They're I don't know when the last one came out, but was there one for the 3DS? I know there was a lot for the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance and the DS.
Yeah, one. I believe that there was a new one for 3DS. I don't know. I never really played them. I played the Etrian Odyssey version of Mystery Dungeon.
This is all DS games. That's probably why I haven't heard of them. Interesting.
Yeah, they're in a very interesting spot right now with the popularity that Pokemon Go has brought back to the franchise. Like, I have friends that work at GameStop, and when they announced Sun and Moon...
Close your fucking window! Those birds are so fucking loud.
All right, hold on.
All right, we'll wait for you. I don't know. Is that bothering anyone else?
It's not good.
I mean, it's not really bothering me, but it's entertaining me because it's bothering you. like I'm just sitting over here and like every time Doobie's talking, I just hear fucking the birds just get louder. When he talks more, the birds get louder, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, Wayne is probably flipping his shit right now.
Goddamn, bird is the word. Bird.
Are you the commander of like a crow family?
Oh god, dude, it's really bad since we emptied out our pool and the crows have like feasted. It's awful.
You emptied your pool?
Yeah, not only that, but the rain kind of lifted it and raised it, so now we have to totally destroy it and fill it with dirt. Yeah, so I lost the pool, but we're getting a hot tub, so it's fine.
Oh yeah, I'd rather have a hot tub these days. Yeah. Not much of a swimmer. Go ahead.
So, I have like buddies of mine working in GameStop, and they when Go was at its height of its popularity and they announced Sun and Moon, they were not only buying like pre-orders for that game, buying 3DSs for that game, like a huge amount, but like all the older titles that are already expensive and hard to find, they were selling out like crazy. People were calling looking for copies of Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4, like older copies, because Pokemon Go brought them back into Pokemon. And right now, I'd say, outside of Mario and Zelda, Pokemon is Nintendo's biggest thing.
Sure, I believe
the only problem is though, like Pokemon Go's gone. Like it had its time in the sun, and it did really good. It's still out there. A lot of people still play it, but like it's never gonna come close to like
it's not
weird hype bubble.
No,
that fad has died.
I think you guys are completely wrong. I think what they're waiting for is to get some kind of cross pollination between Pokemon Go and a Pokemon game. You go out and you catch them, and then you play it in your Pokemon game. And then you got yourself a fucking huge smash hit selling out every console ever.
I think that'd be really cool. I still don't think it's going to be as huge as when it first launched.
Yeah, that was
Like, I mean, when it
phenomenon.
first launched, that was nuts. Yeah, last summer.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you could go out every single night and you just like run into groups of like 30 people at 3 a.m. just like sitting at a lure, still just like, yeah, dude, I've never talked to this guy in my life, but we're best buds.
You know how many
I can
dead
see that
bodies
coming
were found?
back. I can see that coming back though if the game itself is good, because it really wasn't anything more than just kind of catching it. It wasn't very fleshed out gameplay, but if you can go around like you say, you know, you're going to the store or something, you know, you just turn your app on and you can catch Pokemon on the way and come home, upload them to your game, and then like continue on training them in a real fully fledged game. I think that would be a Pokemon game I'm excited about, because I think it's a cool IP and they have cool ideas. It's just I'm just tired of the regular gameplay. I don't know. It hasn't really interested me because I don't know.
Funny thing, the closest thing to what you're saying was the Pokewalker accessory that came with Heart Gold. I think it was Heart Gold and Soul Silver in Gen 4, where like it was this like little like a step reader, like a pedometer they called, where you would take it out with you. You could put a Pokemon into it and it would like level up, or you could catch wild Pokemon when you were just walking around. And you
like
could
a
connect it to
Tamagotchi.
your DS, kind of like that. You could connect it to your DS, so if you like captured a Pokemon when you were out walking, it just like got captured while you were walking, you could upload that Pokemon into your game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they did something with a smartphone and that would be pretty cool. And with Pokebank, which is like their
Pokebank.
yeah, no, it's a real thing. You pay $5 a year and you pretty much just have like 100 boxes or 1,000 boxes. Just put Pokemon in.
Yeah,
That's the way that they've been talking about putting it through the 3DS and the Switch. If they were to have a Pokemon game on both, how you would be able to transfer Pokemon is just through online storage.
Yeah.
They could do the same thing with mobile.
I think it would be pretty smart of them to try something like that. That like AR system was really cool. It was cool when it first came out. It's just like when I played it, I was interested in like how the game kind of worked, but not so much the game itself. You know, being infested by 100 Pidgeys and then having to walk 5 miles to get like one good Pokemon. It just didn't interest me that much.
Dude, you won't even get one good Pokemon. You get a Magikarp.
Magikarp, yeah, down by the rivers or something. But I think if they could like blend the two, that'd be cool. I really think that would do a lot more well than we think it would. Just because I think people are waiting for something to blend like AR with an actual game. Because we see AR being done by Google. It's starting to be heavily pushed. And we're just waiting for that one AR game that everyone plays and everyone's into. You see them on the train like Pokemon Go, except that has like tactility to it.
That'd be cool. Microsoft, their HoloLens crap. Like that would be really cool seeing like some games like that for HoloLens if they figured out an actual mobile version of it. Because Google is working more on making it mobile but like that, I mean, like that full AR kind of thing that like the HoloLens is, that would be really cool.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
What was it, last year's E3 or the year before that they showed that off with like Minecraft? And I thought that was really cool.
Well, with the HoloLens?
Yeah, like I for me personally, I'm not a big into VR. I think augmented reality is a lot has a lot more usefulness in gaming than like a VR would.
I agree. Well, they're kind of different, but I'm more interested in AR than VR. VR, you're just too immersed. It's almost too much at sometimes. And the helmets or the goggles that you wear, they kind of like, they're not perfect yet. So you get the barn door effect. You get like these, they call them God rays. And this is what really bothers me about the VR. And because of the way the Fresnel lenses are, when a light in the game comes through, it kind of casts this blur across your entire vision. And it really disorients me because my eyes are very sensitive to stuff like that. So we're not there yet in terms of VR to really impress me and past what we've already seen now. But AR, I mean, there's so many interesting implementations that you can add to your life that are really minimal and really small. Like, for example, you open your window shades and you have an AR screen on your window that shows you the weather and your news and whatever. You press a button and it shows you outside. Like, that stuff's cool and easy to implement. And I think that's where we're heading. And then crossing that in with gaming, it would be even cooler.
Going to a sports game, like, you could have AR just, if you want to know the stats of the game, just it shows up.
Or like hockey, you get like the trail for the puck, because it's when you're at hockey games, it's hard to keep track of the puck. So like something like that, or there's so many cool implementations that will happen. We just need the time.
I mean, what? You don't want to look like this all the time? You know, just chilling.
I will say
I can barely see you there.
That there's probably more porn watched on that than any other media in VR.
I was
not with these ones, unfortunately. But
I was about to say, I know what Jerry uses those for.
Yeah, he won't show you the inside because they're just crusted. They're all just
no, this
crusted with his tears, maybe.
Yeah, pretty much. No, the daydreams. That's actually my theory why Daydream hasn't caught on nearly as much as the Oculus. Google actually went pretty hard into making it so it only works with Daydream apps, and you can only use Google certified things with the Daydream. So you can't just, open up Chrome and, go to any porn site or anything like that. It has to be in the Daydream app.
Yeah,
so that's my entire theory why this thing hasn't gone off as much as
I agree.
Samsung.
That's a sound
Can't watch
theory.
porn on it.
That is a sound
the
theory.
Porn industry, man. Like, porn industry, they were on the internet before anyone else were.
Yeah, always follow the porn, man. It's just, I hate how demonized porn is, because it's such an innovative industry, and all we do is like. What?
Oh man, it's such an innovative industry.
It is.
Not Nintendo.
It is. All right, yeah.
It's like they just keep coming up with ways to put your dick in stuff, and you just.
Then honestly. Porn, you guys are cool with me, man. If anyone wants to say it, I'll say it. I'm cool with the porn guys out there. Back to Nintendo. So Pokemon. Yeah, I'm not impressed by Pokemon. I would like to see a Pokemon porno, an AR or a VR Pokemon porno. I'm interested in that, my dude. Do you see?
You already know it's out there. Don't even ask.
I know. I don't know. I don't even know why I said that. Do you have any more predictions for Nintendo at E3? They're gearing up. They're saying it's going to be a pretty big Nintendo E3, which is, who knows, but
they like to focus. They like to focus on what's coming out in 2017. So if we really get a lot of like stuff in 2018, I'll be surprised.
True.
It's going to be mostly just them hyping up ARMS, Splatoon 2, Super Mario Odyssey, Fire Emblem Warriors. If we get Smash Brothers, I really want that. But I'm not banking on it. Yeah,
I'm interested in seeing the Switch E3 just because I love the console so much. I'm excited.
They gotta keep the hype going. They have a lot of success going right now. It's just, can they maintain it?
Right. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are done with Zelda already. Luckily, I'm taking it really slow because there's nothing else to play other than that right now. Still,
I'm hoping it'll be good. I still just don't think we're the focus yet.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you like, even still today, they're still sending shipments just in Japan, and there's still people like lining out for miles out the door.
They're doing lotteries in Japan. That's how.
Yep.
I don't know if they're stocking consoles just so when Splatoon 2 comes, because that's going to be a huge seller in Japan. I don't know if they're stocking consoles, hoping they'll have enough for that. And the whole issue with them and the flash drive issue with Apple that they were fighting with, like, tech parts might be what's also keeping it from being produced as much as they want it to.
That's a good point.
I think I would actually not be surprised. This is going back a little bit in what Doobie said. I think there's going to be new Metroid, and I would not be surprised if they announced 2 Metroid games. Like,
I've heard that rumor.
Yeah, I would not be surprised at 2 Metroid games. Like one flagship, like Prime, or like first person shooter type, like Prime 3 or not 3, but a new Prime game, and like a good old school side scroller Metroidvania type game. I would not be surprised at either one of those. Both, actually.
That'd be cool. All right, moving on to the next one, Microsoft. Microsoft is hurting right now, and I think they're going to need a really strong E3 to really drum up some sales for Scorpio, because that's going to be their big thing at E3. So I can see them pulling out Scorpio, releasing pricing structures, releasing the whole thing, not to market, but revealing it all, and then really saying, okay, here are the cool games that you can have and all the different kind of things that you can tweak and different resolutions and different graphic options, pushing that further kind of PC side of Scorpio, because that's a market in console gaming that no one has really tackled yet. And if Microsoft wants a good niche market to sustain itself, that's a great way to do it. Stop trying to chase after Sony and Nintendo with like these super console-based stuff. Make your platform more like a PC, and I can see it being pretty successful. Because I'd buy one at that point. If it can run 4K 60 anything, I'll buy one.
I think they're trying to, because they did kind of try to do that with the Xbox One. How they were trying to make it like, it was going to replace your set-top box. And I think they might try to hopefully kind of do that idea, but actually have it fucking work this time.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I'm just worried about the software.
They're gonna show everything that you can get on anything else.
I mean,
plus now you get Halo 87.
Are they gonna announce the Halo 6 or a Halo 3 remaster? Gears of War. We are like the only games I know they have exclusive is like Forza, so you'll see that because they always show that.
I think it'd be smart for them though, because third party is going to be strong, obviously. But if they can say we're the platform that's running all these third party games at 4K 60, I think they have somewhat of some legs. Because then again, I'll be interested in that over a PS4 Pro, where it's only running 4K at 30, or it's running downscaled or upscaled 1080p.
Do you think it can though? Is the thing?
I don't know.
Really
Looking at the specs, you can expect a 4K 60, but not at like max res settings like PC.
I think it's gonna be upscaled, dude. It's still running Jaguar cores, which are like AMD's old, like not Ryzen. It's not Ryzen. It's based off of the old, 8350 series. Basically, it's still like it's an overtuned 570 graphics card, if I remember right.
I'm not sure. Let's see if we can find out.
That's really pushing it to do 4K at 60.
Yeah, well, you got to remember too that it's a console.
It is a different platform, and it's a console. So like, I think some games will be able to do it, but I think most of them are still going to be like upscaled.
It's just never going to look as good as PC, unfortunately.
No, they've already said that all games on the Scorpio are going to be also able to play on the Xbox One. So is the Xbox One going to hold the Scorpio back? Because games have to play the same on both.
No, they don't. See, that's their whole business strategy is they don't anymore. Mm-hmm. They're trying to go into a PC style, both Sony and Microsoft, they're trying to go into a PC style upgrade cycle. So any of them can play them. Doesn't mean play them like how they're supposed to be played or what the current most up-to-date tech will be, but they're just trying to make it so all of them will still play them.
Yeah, they'll develop for the new Scorpio, but then they'll have just like PC, you could drop the graphics way down, 1080p, turn off anti-aliasing, and then it works on Xbox One.
Right.
It's gonna look like shit, but Xbox One already looks like shit. It's the worst of all of the everything. So I mean, nothing to lose there.
I think besides Scorpio news, they probably have some kind of new exclusive IP. I think that's about the only thing that's going to save Microsoft. The Microsoft show some kind of exclusive IP. Hopefully something new. Hopefully a new IP.
I don't see Sea of Thieves from Rare being a big console seller.
Yeah, probably not. Like, they just need some new games. They just need exclusives. They badly need exclusives because, like you said, there's really no reason to buy an Xbox right now unless you're a Halo fan.
I mean, I think Killer Instinct, if they make another Killer Instinct game, that would be big because that was actually a really good fighting game.
Yeah, Killer Instinct is actually really big. It is a really good fighting game, and
Will that
Xbox,
sell consoles?
Xbox exclusive.
That's what I was gonna say.
It has. Killer Instinct has sold. Yeah, it was
for Xbox One.
Yeah.
How many?
It really
though?
was.
How many though? Like if you compare that to like, Horizon Zero Dawn, other things like that, like it will sell some, don't get me wrong, but like it's a entirely different scale.
And then it's going up against Injustice 2 and now Tekken 7, which is supposed to be one of the greatest fighting games to release, one of the best in its series. That's super hard to beat, and these games
you can't compare Sony and Microsoft when it comes to exclusives. It's just
you can't compare.
Sony wins. Yeah. Sony has the exclusives.
Yeah.
The whole if we're getting on the fighting game train right now, real quick, I don't know about you guys, but I think that the fighting game market, I think they're just cannibalizing themselves.
Yeah.
They're eating themselves alive right now. You're releasing all these high profile games within like weeks of each other. That's ridiculous. Like
Marvel's Capcom 3 Infinite's coming out soon too.
Yeah, normal people don't go out and buy 4 or 5 different fighting games. You know what I mean?
No.
They buy maybe one.
Yeah, which is Injustice 2 for me. I'm not gonna buy another fighting game. I don't see a
until
need.
Until the new Mortal Kombat comes out.
I'll probably get Tekken.
I'll probably get a new Smash, and that's it because I like Smash.
Yeah.
The Tekken one I hear is so good though, and I love the Tekken IP. One thing Microsoft is pushing is Mixer, which is their Twitch competitor. There's no one on Mixer. I was looking at it the other day. It's a new platform though, so up and coming streamers. It's hard to get noticed on Twitch because of the way it works. There's only top games that are played that people look at, which is Overwatch, Players Under Battlegrounds, League of Legends, and you need to be a top streamer. Otherwise, you're sitting way on the bottom. And if you play any other game, no one's even watching your stream anyway. So I think that Mixer would be more. It's gonna be cool because people who are gonna be playing these console games can just start streaming on Mixer, and the what is it called? Console is gonna be strong enough to really output this streaming service a lot better looking than what PlayStation does, because the PS streaming on the console isn't that good. It looks a little grainy and a little blocky, but you get a new graphics card, a stronger console, and you got some nice streaming going on. So I think it's got a little bit of legs. They just need to really get some big names over there, and
that's
Mixer,
the problem.
Cater to like the new streamer.
Mixer can't go the way of Hitbox. Like
yeah,
Hitbox tried to go with Twitch and they got destroyed.
Yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard.
The way I see it, dude, welcome to the Madden NFL network.
Ooh.
Like, I see it being big for that, but outside of that, everyone's still probably just going to go to Twitch.
Yeah.
Because even then, like, no one really watches. Well, people do, but like console streams aren't a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Exclusives, unless it's like an exclusive game to a console.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but I mean, people would just rather watch it. I mean, somebody's going to be playing the exclusive on Twitch with a capture card anyway. I think that it's a bad idea to try to go up against Twitch.
Yeah.
I don't think that's really just a good idea because now, I mean, now that they've been acquired, they were acquired a while ago, but it's kind of like you're just going up against Amazon, and that's probably not the smartest idea.
That's a hard fight.
Yeah. That's a very hard fight.
I mean, like, capturing game footage with a capture card frees you up for so many different possibilities with your layout, with your Twitch notifications that you can't get from just streaming from console.
Hopefully that changes with Scorpio, but you're absolutely right. You want to be able to do all that cool stuff that other big streamers are doing, other than just your face.
The thing too is with a lot of that though, the reason why a lot more PC streams, and I think Scorpio can fix this a little bit better, but it's just you can stream at a much higher quality on a PC. Yeah. Like it's not even comparable. And if you're gonna watch something, you probably want to watch a decent looking stream.
Yeah, the PlayStation broadcasting, the bit rate looked fucking terrible. It was so bad, man.
Yeah, it's
last thing with Microsoft. What's your guys like? Where's the price where it just is? It's too high for this console.
Over 500, even dipping down to 400.
I was
going to say really quickly,
$599. I have a feeling it's going to be $600.
Fuck that. You can build a computer that's better for that price. What I was going to say too, I can see that network also really being good for Destiny. That was the other thing I was thinking about.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, I think it's going to be interesting. Console streaming is a good idea for a lot of cases. It needs to show, like, have a way that people actually can get people to watch their streams. Because Twitch right now doesn't do that. You can't do it on Twitch. It's really difficult to be a new person, never streamed before, hop up on Twitch, and get, like, even one person within 6-7 months. It's really hard.
You got to know people.
You got to know people.
You got to network like a motherfucker.
Every single day, you have to. It's really difficult.
You know somebody who works
also
for
have
Twitch? That helps too.
Yeah, but you also have to, most importantly, have the personality for it.
Yeah,
which is
and the internet.
Yeah.
And the internet
Yeah.
Sometimes it's luck.
Yeah, sometimes it's luck. But imagine you pop a game on, a game that you like to play, maybe no one else likes to play. Like right now, I'm playing The Surge, right? And you pop on, and you can just immediately watch people who are streaming right away, and you can say, okay, how is he beating this level? And then you go and you watch the stream or something. I think that's cool, and I think there's implementation there that can be a little innovative. But it's got to be good, and it has to be customizable.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
the most viewers I ever had on Twitch was when I would do speedruns. That's because the speedrunning community likes to watch speedruns. So, you know, and a lot of my friends are speedrunners, so they would send their viewers to me through Twitch raids and stuff. But
I think the most I ever consistently had was when I played Dark Souls a good bit. I would get, 40, 50 viewers every once in a while, depending on what I was doing.
And that's like a good amount for like someone that doesn't actively Twitch.
Yeah. Oh no, that is an insane amount for somebody who doesn't actively Twitch. That's
And how many of them told you to get good?
Exactly. All of them, dude. The Dark Souls community. Are you serious?
What a toxic community.
I love them. They're my people now.
They're my people. Let's move on to Sony. Sony is probably gonna have an amazing showing. Just because Sony is killing it, dude. In all realms of technology, they are just a powerhouse, dude. So really quick, moving off topic, I just want to tie this in. That A9 story I was talking about with their camera, it's coming out to be that this camera is living up to the hype and that these overheating issues are really kind of isolated incidents. So if you look at what Sony's doing, they just have this endless amount of money and they have this endless vast sea of consumers. How do you beat someone like this? They're the only ones that can beat themselves, and I think the way that how do I explain this? The way that the PS4 kind of released, the PS4 Pro kind of released, where it was just a little step up from their last console, moving into the next gen. Are they going to release another PS4 to combat with Scorpio? You're going to piss off a lot of people. So it's really they're really fighting their own battles here. You know what I mean?
I'm thinking they will. I think they're going to announce it. It's not going to come out till either Christmas or after January or early next year.
Well, they're releasing a gold edition PS4 Slim. So,
are they really?
Yeah, I put it in the notes. It's the very last one.
Dude, that's the way Sony works. Once you start hitting the Slims, something else is around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
the PS2 Slim came like right before the PS3.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, they did release the PS4 Pro, which I think was kind of stupid.
PS4 Slim Gold Edition. What the fuck? That's so ugly.
I think Sony's in a really good spot this year because I think a lot of pressure isn't on them that it is like on Nintendo and Microsoft, who are have a new console and one showing a new console.
That's a good point.
So I think they can focus a lot on their software, which is where they excel.
Yeah, I think the most. I was going to say, I just think that the most pressure's on Microsoft. I think you're correct on that one.
Yeah.
Same, but they have their own amount of pressure, and I think that's actually going to be the heavy part of their show. They have PSVR now. That's
Yeah,
going to be
that's gonna
the
take a-
entire show for them. It's going to be what they're going to try to release a couple of new, like, mostly VR centered games.
Which I'm cool with. VR. They just announced that they sold over 1 million VR head units, which is insane.
Yep.
That means it's the biggest VR platform.
Yeah.
Because their service is so seamless. The helmet is really nice and balanced. You put it on, it just works. It's not the best. The resolution's a little low, but for people that are playing mostly console games, that doesn't matter to them. And if you have a seamless service like that, where it makes it easy to get into VR, Oculus is so difficult to get into VR. It's insane. You have to set up sensors throughout your fucking house. You need to make sure that everything works right. It's just a nightmare. And you have to have a $1,000 PC to run the games properly.
That's what I was going to say. That's what the future of VR was put on. It was put on Sony's hands with PlayStation. Because I mean, yeah, you can buy a PS4 Pro and a VR headset for the cost of an Oculus Rift or a Vive, let alone the computer on top.
And I think they're doing a good job with PS4 VR.
Yeah, so that's going to be their show. I think that's going to be a big push because that is also something that where's Microsoft's VR? It's still 5 years out. What's Nintendo doing? And by the way, Nintendo, please, for the love of fucking God, do not make the Switch a VR.
I don't think they
please.
will. I don't think that's at all in their plans. Miyamoto tried it out. Like, he's tried VR to see what it's like, and he already said, like, this is not ready for even us yet. That's not where their focus is gonna be.
I know.
Unlike the Virtual Boy. That was
then they learned their lesson from the Virtual Boy.
That was the real VR of Nintendo. But yeah, from Sony, I think obviously we're going to get news on the new God of War game. Like we were talking about pre-show, Doobie brought up that they just put a mural up in LA of God of War, and last time it was Horizon Zero Dawn that they put a mural up of. And let's see, I believe we'll get some Horizon Zero Dawn DLC news, like some kind of story DLC. Maybe some Left 4 Dead, not Left 4 Dead, Last of Us. Yeah,
Last of Us 2. That's going to be a huge.
Remember,
huge
Valve
game.
cannot count till 3. There's not going to be another one.
I mean, look, when you get the PS, VR. You've got God of War. You've got Last of Us 2. You got probably an update on Death Stranding from the Kojima.
Kingdom Hearts 3
maybe
news.
Kingdom Hearts 3 news from
3 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to think Sony can disappoint. I really think they're gonna have an amazing show. They're probably gonna have best in show.
Bloodborne 2 is getting a teaser.
That's
Bloodborne
what I'm
2
excited
that's
for.
That's gonna be dope.
From Software is actually announcing a new IP. It's rumored. That would be really cool. I think they said that they're pretty much done with the Souls games for a little bit.
That's fine.
So yeah,
especially because Bloodborne's actually really good.
New IP from Sucker Punch.
Ooh,
Sucker Punch Studios.
Okay.
That's a big platform company. That's gonna be big. Second Son is a high selling game.
There's rumors. What about other rumors for new IPs?
I haven't heard anything yet. I just want to see what Death Stranding is going to be. That's what I'm most excited about.
I love Kojima.
Me too.
I love how he wants to make his games almost movies. Metal Gear Solid 4 had 40 hours of cutscenes?
Every Metal Gear game. It's a 24-hour game. 22 of it is cutscenes.
How much is Death Stranding going to be cutscenes?
Don't you fucking dare talk bad about Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm just saying, it is also half of the game's fucking cutscenes. It's great.
For an hour
that whole series is fucking golden, except for the last game. I didn't like the last game as much as the rest of it. I still liked it, but it wasn't really a Metal Gear Solid game.
Kojima and Konami had a falling out during MGS5, so there's no surprise why that game did not do well.
It just, for me, it didn't end well, but it was a fucking phenomenal game, I think. The last Metal Gear. Death Stranding, however, it's looking like it's gearing to be more like a cinematic experience, which is what I always wanted Kojima to do, is to really show his creativity in a game. and not like, because Metal Gear is so heavily technical with all like the way that they run the military stuff, and it's so technical, and which is cool how he implements his creativity into that. But now with this, I mean, he's got fucking naked Norman Reedus walking around with a fetus in his hands, some like
tanks
cyborg
with guts
aliens.
on them, like intestines.
I'm
like, dudes with
so
the weird
excited.
strand
Well, that-
things.
I've never
It's
been
gonna
more
be a
excited.
fucking
That
mind
is
trip.
that part does interest me a lot too, because now that he has free reign, it seems like he's going to try to make everything darker too.
And
He's gonna go
one
for
more
a
thing.
mind fuck.
Oh,
Yeah.
And they're running that engine from Horizon. And if you guys haven't played Horizon, the engine is so
amazing.
solid. It's
Yeah.
the best engine I've ever played in a game. And I'm so excited to see what this is going to be. With the new,
I would say on
that's gonna be
console.
crazy.
On console, I'll agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. We can agree there. I'm excited. Last of Us 2. Last of Us Part 2. Going to be huge. Let's see some gameplay.
Yeah,
Let's see some
Well,
gameplay.
that's the problem though. Is like, can you really show gameplay for those kinds of games?
Well, I mean, you can make a playable trailer for those kinds of games if you know what I
That you
mean.
could.
They'll
Yeah,
make like an intro, like the playable trailer,
yeah.
show off in-game footage.
Yeah, I just, man, there's so many good games coming out for Sony. They're killing it, man.
Then what do we got next? Like
New handheld console is another rumor from Sony
oh,
to compete with the Switch.
I don't think I would try that, but you know,
Yeah.
I mean, the
Japan, that might
Vita,
work, but in the US, the Vita it didn't sell.
Yeah,
the
the
Vita
Vita-
2 is not gonna sell.
the Vita is actually huge in Japan, though.
Oh
Yeah.
god, yeah. The Switch is,
But I
is
think the
really
s-
fighting against it, and then it's really taking over. But
I was gonna say I think the Switch just started to dominate it though.
in
Yeah.
the US, the Vita, like a Vita 2, it's economically it'll fail. It's just more people will go towards Nintendo for that experience.
Now, can you play regular PS4 games on Vita?
Remote play?
Yeah, there's remote play.
So you have to be
Does
that
near
actually
Wi-Fi
work?
to play it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how bad, like how much it downscales. I'm not
Well, I
entirely
knew-
certain how Vita's screen resolution is.
Did they update that for the 4? Because I knew you could do that with the 3, but I didn't know if you could do that with the 4. 'Cause
I'm not
I don't even
sure.
think they've updated it in the US to
To
even
be
do that,
fair,
but I don't know.
I think Sony forgot about the Vita in the US completely.
Well, I think that's why it failed, is because they had like separate games for it, and you know what I mean. If you could play PS4 games on the Vita, that's pretty cool. I'd be into something like that. Not really into a new kind of half-ass platform.
I'm gonna be
It couldn't
real. The
compete-
only
it
the
couldn't
only
compete with the
games
3DS.
the only games that I really played on Vita were P4 Golden, Persona 4 Golden.
Which was
and,
the best version of that game.
Yeah, it was. It's really, before Persona 5 came out, it was really the definitive Persona game, in my opinion. And like Gravity Rush.
Which
I
they
guess.
remastered on the PS4 anyway.
Exactly, dude. Like, I don't know. It has some good JRPGs, I guess, but I mean, I rarely play it unless I'm like, oh, I want to play some Persona 4. Guess I'll fish up and dust off my, PS Vita.
Yeah. All right. Moving
Yeah,
on.
it couldn't compete against the 3DS.
I think Sony's gonna have a really strong showing again. There's so many good games coming out for it, and E3 is really about the games. You know, hardware, it's cool and all, but nothing gets more applause at E3 than like revealing a new game, or like I could just see Last of Us showing a new trailer and then revealing gameplay footage and everyone freaking the fuck out. Same thing with the new God of War. Same thing with the new Death Stranding. And that, if Sony does that, they're gonna win E3 again, as they always do. Where Nintendo and Microsoft, they're just not good at E3 the way Sony is. Now, what's this Bethesda stuff that you guys were talking about?
There was a rumor that Bethesda might come up with a new IP, which could be interesting.
A lot of it stems from that. There's a picture, I don't know how long ago, but it was like Bethesda Land, and it had like all their IPs, and there were 2 sections that were like blocked off saying like in progress or something like that. So the idea is that they're not going to come out with anything for Fallout or the new Elder Scrolls 6 that I really want to see. The idea is they might come out with a brand new IP. Still RPG, but something different.
Like, that's cool and everything. I just want Elder Scrolls 6. I just really want Elder Scrolls 6. I don't want to see Skyrim again. I don't care. I don't want to see Skyrim released for like the 4th fucking time, remastered again, except the remastered version looks worse than just regular Skyrim with mods.
And before we get a Morrowind remake.
I was just going to say, go play ESO Scrub.
Morrowind or Oblivion remake? I mean, I'd take it. But
I would take a Morrowind remake. But yeah, they did just release the Morrowind expansion that I kind of really want to get and really start playing ESO a lot, just so I can go to Morrowind and see updated, visual graphics. I mean, that'd be awesome.
All right, I'll make a deal with you. I'll do it. I'll play it with you. Let's do it.
All right. I mean, I already have ESO. I just need to buy Morrowind. That's the only thing I have to update. So I'll do it, Jerry. Don't you fucking test me. All right.
Just
Sounds
forgive
like
me.
content for the show.
Yeah, give me like. I'll get it sometime this week. I gotta finish WoW Quest first and get my flying mount, and then let's do it.
You need to do more WoW lore videos. Is what you need to do.
That too, yeah.
Get them WoW lore up, dude. I want to hear more of that silky voice of yours. All right, let's move
baby.
on. Hey,
How you doing, baby? Doing good. How's it going?
Let's get into some gaming news. Might not have enough time to talk about all of it because I do want to get to those last deep topics. We already talked about the gold PS4 Slim. Bungie says we'll no longer update Destiny 1. We don't need to go too much further into that. Let's see what else we got here. Covered a lot of news already, really. Steam Direct publishing fee announced to be $100.
I think that is going to be huge. I'm sorry, I'm going to jump in real quick. I think that's going to be huge. That developers will no longer have to sit and wait through Greenlight. I think we're going to see a new indie boom just because of that. I think that's going to be huge.
So would you just
Steam
pay
platform.
$100 and it gets right up on there?
Yep. All you do is you make your game, you give Steam $100, and they're like, okay, here's your slot on the store. Good luck.
Now, what if the Surge comes out? By the way, there's an ad right next to the article that I pulled up, and it's actually the Surge. So what if the Surge pops up with indie titles, but they're all terrible, and they're all charging like, I don't know, $10 for their games? Will that really hurt them? And do you think Steam will step in and be like, all right, well, fuck all this noise, going back to Greenlight?
I think you're obviously gonna get some stuff like that. It's gonna kind of be like it's gonna kind of be like the mobile market, where people just push out any amount of trash that they possibly can, trying to make a quick buck. But you're really gonna have to just depend on user reviews and word of mouth and people playing the game before you buy it. I don't know, with indie titles, man. I have to really either I have to get them through Humble Bundle, which is the whole point of my video series, or I have to read up on it or see some other streamer or YouTuber play it and think, oh, that looks really good, before I will buy it, before I will spend money. Because I know that there's a lot of people out there right now and a lot of companies that will just push any kind of trash that they possibly can out to try to make money off of it. I think that's more on the consumer than it is the platform to be able to distinguish what you would be able to like, or if you're going to be ripped off or something like that. That's up to you. That's not up to Steam.
Yeah.
So
let the market kind of do its thing, right?
Not only that, but we have 2-hour refunds.
Oh, true.
So I mean, they got to trick you for at least 2 hours. And if you get tricked for 2 hours, I think you might kind of deserve it.
Treat it like a demo.
Yeah, that's
exactly. Why do we even have demos anymore? We got 2 hours.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Bethesda.
Yeah.
Before 2 hour cinematic to open a game. 2 hour tutorial.
And that also makes them at least have to make their game 2 hours long, which is a thing that you have to do in indie
There you
titles.
go. That is how the new Kojima's game is going to become the world bestseller. The intro itself is going to be 2 fucking hours long.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't even doubt that. I would not doubt that from Kojima.
And then
or if the
that,
whole
it's
game
just-
was an intro to the next one.
When that game comes out, we got to take an over-under on like how long the intro is.
It's like after the first 2 hours, it's just Norman Reedus playing Bejeweled.
Yeah, Steam Direct. That's cool. That is pretty cool. I will want to know like if there's any kind of like, does Steam have like an anti-spam for reviews and stuff? Like you can't buy reviews or anything like that.
They
No?
kind of do, but I mean, it's about as good as, YouTube or Twitter or anything
Yeah.
else. AKA, it's pretty shit.
Yeah, I think that would because I don't know. I don't think Steam has that big of an issue with kind of rip-off games, but at least for
As long
people
as they get their
our
money.
age, it's mostly, I guess, people getting ripped off are mostly younger kids who don't really know any better, or older people who don't know any better. But
Are you really asking if the company that made loot boxes, where you spend $2.50 just for the key to open said loot box, which you may have paid money for, that they also get a cut of that someone sold to you, so you can get a skin that you can then sell for 3 cents, where they get 2 cents out of that 3 cents, really cares about ripping people off?
Hey, I don't know if you could call that a rip-off. I think that's just some good marketing if you want to fucking get into skins and shit. Lawbreakers will only be $30. No paid DLC, no pay to win BS. I keep my word, folks. I'm Cliff Blazinski. I'm the coolest guy, rockstar, and gaming.
Dude, Cliffy B is so
$30.
awesome, dude.
Yeah, he's the
He
man.
used to be the best. Like, he was my idol growing up. I loved Cliffy B.
Yeah, he was the man when he had spiked hair and shit, and he would come into interviews and be like, I'm Cliffy B, motherfucker.
I have an earring.
I have frosted tips. Let's go. We want to play some games. $30. No paid DLC. That's cool. Hey man, do your thing. If that's how you want to market and push your game out, fucking all power to you.
Can't be as bad as Battleborn.
There you go. There you go. I've never played Battleborn, and I have no.
It's
interest
bad.
I have no interest in it.
They need to go back and make Borderlands 3 at this point. Gearbox needs to do something.
I didn't think it was that bad. It just didn't have a player base. And some of the way they did some of the unlockables was pretty fucking bad.
Overwatch killed them.
Well, see, that's what's weird to me is they're such dramatically different games, but they were marketed very similarly. So everyone was like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy Overwatch instead of both, or Battleborn," and they're really fucking different games.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are both hero based, and like, okay, so you have your hero as you play, but that game it's a MOBA game. Mm-hmm. There's 3 lanes. It's set up like League of Legends. There's objectives, and you play a MOBA just in first person as a first person shooter.
Yeah, it's
versus
closer to
Overwatch.
It's closer to like Smite than it is Overwatch.
Yeah.
Or Paragon.
Paladins
is more like Overwatch clone.
Yeah, I liked Paladins.
Remember that whole thing came out about how people were like, "Wow, look at this game ripping off Overwatch," and then you found out Overwatch ripped off fucking Paladins.
It was pretty crazy. Yeah, it was a little bit back and forth.
That was pretty cool. Well, Paladins was in development way before Overwatch, and it was the same exact game. How does that work? They get like the inside scoop. Like, how did they know that game was being released that way? That's what I didn't understand.
Well,
there was a lot of I don't want to say failures, but there was a lot of hype built around some of these games. Like, what was it? Go Gigantic. They had a game that was supposed to be like a MOBA, and its player base is really small.
Yeah.
What was shit? Never mind. There was one MOBA called like Dawn something.
Dawn Gate.
And then Dawn Gate.
That was actually pretty good, and it got shut down.
Yeah, it got shut down. It's actually being remade like into a new IP. Like they're using it again. Like it's coming back. And then
like how Overwatch was originally supposed to be an MMO that was supposed to be really fucking good, and then it got canceled, and I miss it.
What? It was supposed to be an MMO? Overwatch?
Yeah. The original thing for Overwatch, it was entirely different. I think it was Titan, if I'm remembering right. Yeah, I think it was Titan.
Project Titan.
Yeah, Project Titan. It was going to be an MMO that was going to be a first-person shooter MMO, and they kept working on it for like years. Like they spent 3 or 4 years at least, like working on it, and then
Then
pretty much realized they couldn't do it, canned it, and then took what they could from it and made Overwatch out of it.
And then ran over to the Paladins development team. Was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing over here?" And then they made Paladins.
Over here?
So that's interesting how it's a completely different game that copied a game to the T. Those are exactly the same games. How does that work? How did that happen? No one
Like
knows.
I said, I don't know.
No
Yeah.
one cares. I bet you the
That, like-
developers over at Paladins are so mad every day they wake up. They're
They're
probably
salty
like,
as
"Oh my God.
fuck.
How did
Well,
they-"
the thing is, Wayne, you just be owned by Activision,
yeah,
and you just have a lot of money to throw at that kind of shit.
then you-
so.
Yeah.
Yep,
Because I was gonna
that's
say
what happens.
they were working hardcore, like full Blizzard team on that game for 4 years and then made Overwatch out of the assets pretty much.
Square Enix will let IO Interactive keep Hitman franchise.
That's
pretty
cool.
That's pretty
That's cool to me.
They say
That's
that they want the original, I guess, developer to keep control over it for the spirit of the game or whatever. I think that's kind of bullshit. I think they just don't want to spend the money on it, and they
Yeah.
probably know that they can't make a better game. So
Well, but they own the IP, right? Square Enix, you're a publisher, you own that name. So why not keep the name? Because there's going to be Hitman things later. Giving them the original creators of it, giving them the IP back, that's big. Square Enix, that's pretty remarkable, if you ask me. They didn't have to do that, and they did, especially in the industry like this, very cutthroat. I was expecting him to just take it and say, peace, we'll take the royalties on every Hitman merchandise to ever roll through until it's dead. But that's cool. Maybe we'll see another Hitman game down the line. Maybe
They get the royalties for every copy, and that's one single copy of the Hitman movie that came out. On
one
DVD.
single copy. Yeah.
I
You know,
mean,
the one that sells every year in the $5 Walmart bin.
I don't know, you never know how those backroom deals break down too. I mean, it's also like, hey, thanks for working for us for 10 years. We're gonna fire you, but at least give you this as a
hey,
pension.
you can keep making this game that you don't have enough money to make.
Yeah.
What's the future of Deus Ex? Is that still owned by Sony?
Or
did that get pushed with anybody else?
I'm not sure.
Because it wasn't a financial success really for them.
No, it wasn't. It
I
wasn't.
loved it, but
Yeah. I'm
Not
sure.
the newest one,
The original?
older, newer one. Yeah, I liked it, but I didn't like. What was it? Mankind Divided. Wasn't that the
Human
newest one?
Revolution
Yeah.
was the first one. Mankind
Yeah,
Divided
Human
was the
Revolution.
second.
That was the one that I liked.
Mankind Divided, I have it in my Steam library. I played about 3 hours of it, that was it. It's really weird. I'm not used to games like that. I do want to get back into it, though, because the story's kind of interesting.
It's those old ones are good. They're really good.
Yeah, the first
The
one I
new-
really liked.
The new reboot's it is different. It's more modern version of it, but it still has just barely enough of those play it your way.
It
If
doesn't
you want to do
really-
it, if you want to do stealth, you can do stealth. If you want to go guns in, you can go guns in. And there's
until the final act where it forces you to do stealth.
yeah, but I like the idea of how they have it actually does impact how you play it. Like there are negatives and positives towards how you're choosing to do it. I
Mhm.
thought that was always cool.
If you do go back and play the old games, though, avoid Invisible War like the plague.
Rhyme players crack DRM just days after launch. There's an update here. Let's see
They
what the update
challenged
says.
them. The creators
Yeah.
of the game were like, "Hey, if you
Yeah.
can crack it, we'll release a DRM-free version." And they were like, "Okay, we'll crack it," and then they cracked it.
Yeah, well, basically,
Squeenix still owns them, by the way.
that's
Okay,
still
cool.
that's still great news because I fucking hate de novo. I don't know about any of you guys, but I really hate de novo, and I really hope that it's just not a thing here in a little while. I mean, I understand companies
They
want
took
to
it
put
down.
DRM. Yeah,
They took the de novo off for the PC version, at least. There's an update
Yeah.
now.
I really just hate de novo. I just really hate de novo
I
a
agree.
lot.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Rhyme is haven't played it though.
I've heard good things about it. It's short, but it's apparently really not. It's like a really it's a really artsy kind of style. I heard it was good.
It looks like Zelda a little bit, but I'm still not done with Zelda, so I'd rather play that. next, before we move on, Witcher 3. It's got a first-person mod. What? Have you guys seen gameplay footage of the first-person mod? I haven't seen it yet, but I heard a lot of people
VR
talking about
mod
it.
or the
Yeah,
first person.
First person.
The first person mod. I watched a little bit of it. What happened was Shindo linked it to me in Discord, and I saw that's how I first found out about it. And then I saw it on Kotaku when I was trolling through the news section. And I think it'd be a cool way to just shut up, Jerry. I think it'd be
just scrolling through Kotaku for news. You know,
no. Well, I mean, that's what. How do you think these fucking things get made anyway? How the fuck do you think these notepads just come into existence? I don't just fucking just like in my mind. I'm like, you know what?
Dude, you don't ever give out
an RSS feed, and I'll just say Kotaku isn't on it.
You never give out your sources. All right, as a journalist, you keep your sources to yourself.
You got inside sources.
Yeah, we got the inside scoop.
Anyway,
It's all up here,
Jerry. Anyway, I thought that the video looked really cool.
Yeah, we're watching it now on this little screen down there.
Yeah, man, I personally prefer, honestly, Witcher in a third person, but I know some people would like to experience it in first person. I hear that the combat's kind of bad, though. Like, you might want to play the combat in third person.
I was just about to say, is there combat of this? Because it's such a jumpy game in combat. How are they going to do that in first person? If you're I'm going to get sick if you're rolling around all the time.
Well, it might be like Skyrim. If you ever played Skyrim and switch between third and first person. In first person, like when you do like spin attacks and shit like that, the first person camera will actually just still remain focused ahead of you, but you'll see like your blades spin around you kind of thing.
Right.
So, and if you scroll out to third person, you'll actually see your character just spin around. But I did not see any combat. I didn't watch it long enough for the combat. Like I said, I prefer third person for Witcher, but I understand like it might be a little bit more immersive for people.
What I will do is I'll get the mod and I'll stream it and we can check it out. We could do
that. See if you can also get the VR to work with it.
Yeah, I'll try to do that too. Witcher 3 mods, No Life on the No Life channel, exclusive. You ain't gonna get him nowhere else, bitch.
Except maybe a different channel.
Except maybe an obscure niche channel for Witcher 3 mods. No, I like.
P.S. Never look up those mod channels unless you want a lot of porn.
Hold on, we got a little.
Fallout mods, have naked Skyrim mods, real all naked.
There's
all of those
children.
There seems to be a mod for Witcher 3 in the same article that gives Geralt a selfie stick, and you can take selfies and add filters to the game, which is interesting.
No.
I'm not gonna get that mod, but if you'd like to see it,
mods away from millennials.
If you'd like to see it, please subscribe. All right, let's move on to. Let's skip that one. Let's move on to deep topics and get out of here. Okay, so have you heard of this story about Linus? Linus Tech Tips.
Walking around on the street raining.
Walking around the street raining, complaining, starting this firestorm about. I don't know if I should play his video. About
no, don't.
About the i9 and the X299 motherboards.
X299 motherboards. Where you can have 14 to 44 PCI lanes.
up to.
So this has started this massive array of hate coming from other techers. Like I said, Jay's 2 Cents also just released a video on this, telling people, hey, is now actually the time for you to switch to AMD? People are really upset about this. It's looking like a cash grab, the way that KB Lake and Coffee Lake are gearing up to kind of...
P.S. It was just announced that Coffee Lake is now completely backtracked till 2018.
Figures. Now, what do you think about this, Jared? Because you seem to be more balanced in terms of PC tech. I'm very heavily Intel NVIDIA guy. I've had AMD for a while, and I'm more into the features that Intel and NVIDIA give me over AMD. But you are a little less biased than I am.
I swing both ways. I've But no, my first computer I ever built was AMD. because that was back in those days when the X2 6000 just first launched and dual cores were just the brand new thing and destroyed Pentium 4s. And since then, I don't know. I've always been willing to buy both. It's more what's best for the budget for me.
Value, right?
Yeah. And I don't know. I do like NVIDIA a little bit more. I am more biased towards NVIDIA, but I think AMD is really cool just because the thing I hate about NVIDIA is, hey, if you want G-Sync, you have to pay an extra $300. Go fuck yourself.
Yep.
But I'm actually going to kind of take back what I was suggesting last week. Because last week I was talking about the new Kaby Lake X chips that they had and saying like, hey, those sound really cool. Those sound like if you're a gamer, those are going to be a good way to go. Because it's a brand new i5. It's a brand new i7. They should be able to be pumping out more. That sounds really awesome. I didn't realize they're also locking those to the X299. The X299 motherboard chipset.
Which they did not need to do.
No, not at all. So hey, if you want the best i5 that you can buy, you have to spend more on a motherboard than the fucking processor.
Yep.
Will still only have the same features as the regular i5.
And it was strictly just a reaction to what AMD was doing with Threadripper.
Oh yeah, all of it was. Like they got caught with their pants down pretty much
and then started freaking out. No one is going to buy an i5 with plans of getting a 18-core CPU down the line at X299 within the 2 years that the platform will stay around.
Yeah,
what?
I mean, maybe they will because hey, these 18-core chips that were announced aren't even coming out till next fucking year.
Yeah, good point.
Like no one knows what they are yet. Intel doesn't even know what they are yet. Intel literally said, "Hey, we're doing this. We don't know what the clocks are. No idea. We kind of have pricing figured out. We don't know what TDP is going to be. We don't know performance. We don't know clocks. But we're taking some Xeon chips and just going to say, yeah, they're gaming chips now because they had to come up with something, which seems really weird to me.
Well, what Linus... Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, AMD's doing really good right now, but if you are pure gaming performance, Intel's still the way to go. Like if the only thing you do is play games, you're still better off suited buying an Intel chip. They do have better performance in games. AMD is doing really well in if you do anything else other than 90% of your computer time is playing video games. What is interesting to me is like Threadripper's already, it seems really cool. I think AMD can do something really cool with it, especially with the price points AMD's been able to pull out. But like even Threadripper itself it's not going to sell a lot.
No,
it's going to sell a lot to servers possibly if it's better than Xeon performance at a lot cheaper. That's going to start doing really well. But like it wasn't this huge thing, like on the consumer level at least, that Intel had to like freak the fuck out. And then I don't know, I think some like exec in Intel was just like, they have a 16-core chip. Like, oh no, what are we going to do? And then they just were like, hey, we're going to do this. And it's to the point that like I've heard motherboard vendors like still don't even know what the hell they're doing. There's some motherboards who are having like vendors, they're literally leaving standard features off every single one of their X299 boards right now because they got notified so late they don't have time to even put those features in.
But they do have 5 M.2 NVMe slots for your PCIe lanes.
Possibly. If you buy one of the ones next year that have that many PCIe lanes, because the only ones you can buy right now still only have 16 PCIe lanes.
I also heard that we're going back to old school RAID keys.
Oh.
I heard that's going to be a thing on that Linus video. That's one of the things he was talking about. Also, I agree with him in the fact that non-alarms go.
I don't know. Like some of it
makes no sense.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like if they would have taken, even like a couple of months or two, like instead of just trying to say, hey, we need something at Computex now, I think it could have been a lot better. They could have actually figured out what to do. What they really should have done also is those Kaby Lake chips should not have been put on a fucking X299. Like they they just shouldn't. They should have, even if it was slightly less performance, they should have figured out a way to keep it on 1151.
Yeah,
Just
it
keep
wasn't
it with
less,
the rest of the Cabu Lake.
it wasn't less performance. That's made up bullshit if they're saying that.
No, yeah, but like
I think that they were really just trying to, I don't know what they were thinking. And the fact that Linus came out and was talking about this in the way that he was, while having Computex coverage of these boards and chips, was actually pretty strong. And seeing that is actually pretty cool. So if we get some nice competition between AMD and Intel, I'm all for it. But I don't think that, I still don't think that it's that big of an issue for a lot of consumers to be freaking out about themselves, because chances are you're not buying these higher end server style, CPUs.
Yeah.
You're just not. You don't need them. They're way out of the price range of even using them. So I don't see why a lot of people are going crazy about it.
Well, some
weird.
I don't know, some of it's gonna get really interesting, I think, too, though, just because I mean, some people I do know who are in that enthusiast market, they're super pissed off. I've had a couple of friends who are huge Intel fanboys, and they're in that, they've always been in that generation of, no, we buy the X series enthusiast chips. They're like, oh yeah, fuck this. Like, I'm really considering AMD now, when they probably wouldn't have been considering them at all if NVIDIA hadn't just done this, pretty much. Because I think a big thing of it too is we do have pricing sort of for some of the Threadripper stuff. There's going to be a 16-core Threadripper coming out at $800. And that's still going to be half of what Intel's going to do with their imaginary chip that doesn't exist yet.
I was watching the Linus video, and I really agree with him on the fact that it feels like AMD is trying to make the best chip that they can and price it as reasonably as they can, while Intel is like, hey, let's make a chip that's a little bit better than the competition and price it
as much profit
as much. Yeah, exactly.
That's
like
the big thing. Yeah.
I think they wouldn't be in this position right now if they just tried to afford their own technology as much as they could and put it at a price that's reasonable.
That's
try to make it as low as possible. I think they wouldn't be in this spot right now.
But they won't do that because they're Intel. They never have. They have the capacity and manpower to build some of the most amazing chips in the world and price them at very competitive pricing against AMD. But because they own enterprise, they own that enterprise monopoly, they don't have to do it, because that's where they're getting the bulk of their money. They're not getting the bulk of their money through consumers. They're getting the bulk of their money through all these PCs that go into big-ass office buildings and stuff, Xeon processors, That's where all their money comes in. So they can say, let's just maximize profits on consumers. We'll wait till AMD kind of releases something so we can say, okay, what are you doing? Well, we can do it just a little bit better, also a little bit more competitive pricing, or a premium price, and just call it a more high-end product. And they will never stop doing that. It doesn't matter how many Linuses come out and say it, because you know what? Linus is still going to get these chips. He's still going to make amazing PCs with them, and he's still going to sell a bunch of them. No matter how many times he cries in the rain. You know what I mean? So I thought that was a little bit hypocritical of him to kind of go out on a limb and say these things, but it did cause a little bit of a stir, and I like seeing that too as well.
I don't know. I don't think it was super hypocritical. Like, I think he said, yeah, like, I get it for free, I shouldn't be complaining, but I think he is complaining just because the entire lifeblood of his entire business is for the consumer. So I think he still is trying, like.
So then don't build PCs with it. Don't build PCs with them.
Yeah, that's true. I think a lot of what you were just mentioning is that's why Intel's scared. Intel's not really scared of Ryzen. They're scared of Threadripper.
They're scared of that market.
Yeah. Because, like, if Threadripper actually ends up being good, there's your ultimate, like, good value server chip for right now. And that's what they're most scared of, I think.
And it would be cool to see AMD release server chips that consumers can get into and start seeing more consumer servers. Because I want to build a server myself. I'm looking at NAS servers, and they're all right. But it would be really nice to build myself a nice big server.
Well, that's what's going to be cool. I don't know if they're ever going to bring Operaton back. It would be cool if they did. But that's what I think they're aiming for with the Threadripper, basically.
Yeah, I think you're right.
that's honestly, that was part of the reason why I wanted to build AMD this time. I had a limited budget. I do more than just play games. I mean, I'm making YouTube videos, streaming. We got a couple other podcasts I do, stuff like that, where I need to do more than just an i5, basically. But a big part of it was like, all right, Intel, like I don't want to give you money anymore. I don't want to give you $300 so I can give you another $300 next year for 5% fucking more in performance.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why I was thinking of when I was gonna do my new desktop build, I was gonna go with i5, but now I'm actually just gonna go with Ryzen 5 1600.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going with.
It's more economically viable. Plus, that chipset will probably stay around a lot longer.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is AM4 is set to be a good 4 years.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna say I'm really happy with mine because mine overclocks like a beauty, and I'm still I overclocked. I have a 1600 as well, and I overclocked it to the point where, off of any benchmark I've been able to run, it's basically 67K.
That's good
for like $200.
Yep,
I'm stoked on that.
And you got that chipset for 4 years. Where Intel 299 is coming out next year.
That was actually the biggest thing. Is I like when they went to that 2-year model like 6 years ago, I said fuck them.
Yeah,
I still kept buying them, but god
if you're someone who bought like an i5 6500K and you're coming into next year wanting to upgrade your CPU to another Intel chip, then you have to buy a whole new PC. What the fuck are they thinking with the KB like X kind of? I don't know. Who knows?
Well, yeah, and then you still got to wait another year for Coffee Lake anyway, which is going to be the actual next step, of, like
the actual next architecture,
right?
Which will be a new motherboard for that anyway.
Yep.
So you'll be either way. All right. Well,
or you can buy a $500 X299 motherboard for your $250 i5.
Because Linus will make a video, best server PC for consumers, and you're gonna want one because he always makes some banging Intel PCs. Let's move on to what Apple is doing. Is Apple losing its edge? Now, did you guys see the Apple press conference today? Probably not, because no one gives a shit anymore about Apple. What the fuck is going on at Apple? Do you think after Steve Jobs died?
I was just going to say, yeah, you want to know what happened? Rest in peace, Steve Jobs.
Do you really think that's the issue? Because they fucking suck now. They are terrible.
Everybody misses Steve Jobs and his uncanny ability to ride the coattails of smarter people.
And do acid.
Yeah. I mean,
and not love his children.
God. I mean, I'm just gonna say though, he knew how to run a team. I will give him that. Like, he knew how to actually run a team and get people to be hyped in a product.
No, he was one of the best to ever do it. Ever.
Yeah. And then since then, I don't know. It seems like Apple just lost their direction after it. Where now they're like, oh, we got a watch now. It'll track your heart rate and tell you to stand up every half hour until people hate you.
Listen to this. So one of the things at their press conference was the watch. It got a new face, dude. It got a new watch face. What? Apple's bringing out new watch faces. Another thing.
And still no Mac Pro.
No,
so, rest in peace, any of your old consumer base.
No, there was a Mac Pro. That was a big
there's an iMac Pro.
Well, not iMac Pro. You're probably not going to get a Mac Pro. Well, they said what, modular Mac Pro coming next year? Who knows? No one's excited for that. iMac Pro
modular
is kind of interesting, but you can't. It's an Apple product, right? So you have to build kind of ahead of your time in order for it to stay around.
See, that was the cool part of the Mac Pros, especially aimed at a high user base of content creators, but also just workstations. It has Mac OS, and it is a good fucking system, but you can replace shit in it. Mm-hmm. The iMac Pro is still a closed system, so it's like, cool, here's your new laptop that just sits on your desk.
Here's your new laptop that costs fucking $5,000.
I mean, welcome to Apple. They're the company that you go to if you just want something that does things. You're not going to customize. You're not going to have an open, so you're going to have, this is what you get. Well, I mean, I made the switch to Android a while ago because I didn't want to be limited by what I could do especially on my phone.
Yeah. Well, when I made the switch from iPhone to Android as well, I was the happiest person. I didn't realize the functionality that you were limited by with the iPhone until I got the Samsung, and I was like, "Oh my God, you can do anything with this phone. You're not limited in any way. You can get all the way deep into your files and stuff. Can't do that with Apple. There's no file system on the Apple iPhone. It's insane." I do want to talk about some of the specs on the iMac Pro.
I want to get into that too. We'll also say though really quickly, yeah, that's why I've always been Team Android. I was an early adopter, and guess what? I could not live those first 3 years without fucking copy and paste.
Yeah. So iMac Pro one of the versions is coming with an 18-core Xeon processor, which is really interesting. That's pretty beast.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's the same chip that's going to be turned into Skylake X whenever to be determined. The thing that seems really cool to me. Don't get me wrong, it seems like a cool fucking PC. Well, not PC, Mac. But the thing that also scares me. All right, so it's got one of these 18-core chips that you can get up to,
and then a Vega graphics card.
Exactly. I was just gonna say it's got a lot of stuff in it that sounds really cool that's not been released yet.
Yeah.
That no one has any benchmarks for yet. That everyone's thinking will be good, but we got no fucking idea.
Well, I'm thinking if it's got the 18-core Xeon and it's going with Vega, you can expect Vega to have somewhat of like a NVIDIA Quadro style chipset where it's basically just a shitload of RAM and fast RAM video.
They do, if they go that route, there is a Vega card that has been released for that. They did release their Quadro whatever, like competitor.
Yeah. That's probably what I'm assuming it would be. It wouldn't make sense for them because this is going to be the 18-core version is going to be like $10,000. It's not going to be cheap. I think the 8-core version is priced at $5,000, which is insanity. They are built nice. I bought Kate one for Christmas. They're like the lowest, cheapest 5K monitor one, and it is a nice. Like if you are a photo editor or a video editor, it's an excellent product to have if that's all you did. You get that Adobe Suite on there, or you get Final Cut Pro. Like content creators who just do that, Apple is really good. And I see them kind of catering to them, which is why I wanted to talk about it. 128 ECC memory, which is pretty cool. 4 Thunderbolt ports, and then you got the built-in 10 gigabyte Ethernet, which supposedly has never been done on an iMac before, which is crazy. But I want to say, it looks like they're trying to target they know, okay, we're looking at content creators. There's a lot of people who don't play games that use our products because they just want to be able to edit their photos, edit their videos, or edit their music. And that's all they fucking do. Or write. A lot of writers use Mac as well. So let's make them the best product possible. The problem is that you can get the best product possible for a much, much cheaper price if you go PC. Are they really still trying to hype up their build quality when they're not the leader of trends anymore? You know, one thing about Apple that they do well is command the trends in the market. I mean, the push to USB-C on their laptops now all laptops have USB-C now because that's just the way Apple does things. But other than that, I mean, where else are they going? They have no more trends. They're not pushing the market the way that they used to. People are more excited about Android. People are more excited about that new Essential phone by the father of Android. Have you guys seen that?
Andy Rubin. Yeah.
Oh my God, that phone! I cannot wait to see it like actually being used because I really want one.
I'm not gonna buy one.
You don't want one?
No, I think it's really cool. I'm still really happy with my Pixel. I think it's really I'm still happy with my Pixel, but I was really think it's really cool phone. It's a really elegantly designed phone. I'm sure it's gonna run beautifully. The camera seems actually really good on it. Doesn't have a fucking headphone jack. No thanks.
Ew, yeah, no. I was mad when Apple was like, "Yeah, here's the iPhone, no headphone jack," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I can get over it.
Okay.
I can get over headphone jack. I have Bluetooth headphones; they work beautifully.
I do too, but I can't for emergencies, things like that. It's just too ingrained to me. I don't know. It seems anti-consumer to me to not just have a fucking headphone jack on it.
Not only that, but I have an auxiliary port in my vehicle, so I just plug it straight into my audio system, and that's I don't own CDs anymore or anything like that. I just
Yeah.
Fucking
I like
plug
the
it right
Bluetooth.
in.
I like Bluetooth route because I have Bluetooth like in the car. I have Bluetooth headphones, and not having like the fucking because I have like nice headphones and like walking around with something like this kind of just slapping you in the face. It gets old. I can see why people want a headphone jack.
I like old school like the earbuds, and I can't do the ones that have like the extended thing that goes into your ear. That hurts my ears.
Yeah, me too.
And it's hard to find Bluetooth just like buds. I have never seen a pair that I like.
There's a pair you can buy. They're from Apple. They cost only $150 fucking dollars.
Yeah,
for Apple iPod quality.
The Apple ear.
Fuck that. All I know is I'm not due for an upgrade until like October on my phone. And
so you're gonna have a tough choice, man.
There's
gonna be a lot of good phones.
With Samsung, I have the Note 5. I love the Note 5.
Oh, I love the Note.
The Note 7, of course, had the battery issues. I don't know if they're gonna make a Note 8. They might.
They are.
I don't know.
Fix their issues. But
Note 8's coming.
The S8's good.
Note 8 is coming.
They had a pretty hot drop, dude. I thought it dropped pretty hot, man.
Dropped.
It's a pretty sick phone.
Hot.
They had that new IED technology, if you know what I mean. But anyway, like I'm not really a big phone person. Like I have this 6S, or not 6S, but the 6 Plus, whatever the bigger version of the 6 was, the original 6. And before that, I had an iPhone 4.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I rarely upgrade my phone as long as it does what it needs to do. The next phone upgrade I do get though is going to be Android.
Sure.
Because I'm definitely not sticking with an iPhone. I really like how simple it is, but yeah,
it's
not
too
sticking
simple.
around.
It's you.
You
don't realize how much you lose when you go to Apple. Because like I said, I had the iPhone because that was the phone to get when smartphones came out, and I got it up to the 5. After the 5, I was like, let me try Android because I want to be able to get into my pictures and stuff. Because like file system, there's no file system for Apple. You can get apps and stuff, but it's like janky. And then once I got Android, I was like, oh my god, there's so much other stuff that you can do with your phone that I didn't realize you can't do with Apple.
I mean, you can, dude. This is my USB stick.
Yeah, or a music player. Now my old iPhone's a music player, or for social media, which is nice to have like a second social media phone. Don't ever throw away your phones, people listening. Use that as your social media phone.
Dude, I'm telling you, since getting a car with like Bluetooth, I have like just the ability to just get in my car, turn my car on, and my music just starts playing.
It's amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I don't have to deal with auxiliary cords or anything. It's little things.
It's amazing. Yep. My podcast
Honestly,
just play right when I hop in.
Yeah, I still sometimes though swap back to the aux cord just because Bluetooth is getting there. It's still not there.
I disagree. I think it's there. I think people just need to get there, bruh.
Guys, start getting them FLAC files.
I agree. I would challenge you this. Would you rather have an auxiliary port or like another 4 hours of battery life? Would you rather have an aux port or, I don't know, another cool feature?
I'd rather have the aux port.
Right now I'd rather have the aux port because no one's lived up to those claims.
That's a good point.
Yeah, not only
that was the thing with the iPhone. They're like, oh yeah, so we could, add more battery life, this and that. Didn't do fucking any of it. They just got rid of it.
I use the aux port on my phone more for recording. I have like a mic that comes out and I record. So I actually use that more than I use my headphones on that.
Let's be for real though. I mean, who in this day and age, who isn't like within arm's length of their phone charger? At almost all times, like you always have a phone charger around you. There's always a wall jack somewhere. People have car chargers. 4 hours. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could argue that in a situation that you would need that extra 4 hours of battery life, it would be great. But I don't really see
because the aux ports are big. They're like that big. They're not small things, and that technology is so old that it can't change. It'll just never change. So I like that having like headphones that go into Lightning port. I think that's a good idea. USB-C kind of headphones is a good idea, just so you do have that extra room to put in your phone. Because mainly the big part of the phone is just the battery.
Did those adapters come with the iPhone, or did you have to buy them separately?
I'm pretty sure to buy them, right?
It's
I
Apple.
wouldn't be mad if it came with it.
It came with the.
You just
I think
Yeah,
I think
it
it
came
did
with
come
it.
with it. Yeah.
Okay,
It came
'cause
with
if that
it
was something
because
you
it
had
was
to
still
buy
It's still
separately.
dongle life though. Like I don't want to live dongle life. And
No.
then to answer your question, yes, I always have my phone charger with me everywhere I go because I, like I said, I own a Pixel. I'm on that USB-C life, and no, everyone doesn't have a USB-C charger around with them, so I got to bring my own always.
I got a question for you. If you didn't have the Pixel, would you go with the Essential?
I would consider it. It would probably be up there in my choices. Yeah,
I'm gonna show a picture to the chat right now with the Essential.
I would still be pissed off about the headphone jack though,
It's such a
but it would be
gorgeous
up
phone.
there.
It's
I
a
would-
gorgeous phone too.
If I didn't have the Pixel, I would consider the new S8, even though I hate Samsung's bloatware.
Yeah, it is bad.
I would definitely consider the Pixel or the Essential. I'd consider Motorola again because I also like some of the old Motorola's. I have a huge
Moto
affinity-
X. The
Yeah,
Moto
dude, I
X?
actually had a couple of those. I loved them. Like I'm a really big fan of stock Android. So
Yeah.
those are most of my choices. Are just like, no, I don't want bloatware on it.
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
I would also consider OnePlus a decent amount too.
I think by the way, the Essential comes in like this hunter green color too, which looks really nice. Like a hunter green with a gold
Yeah, they
ring
have
around
some
it.
cool colors.
I think that's cool. But what was I gonna say? I don't remember. I lost it. Fucking bitch.
Or you can buy an iPhone and
No, don't buy an iPhone.
just do iPhone things with it. You know,
Well, there is
wait
a new
another
iPhone
three
coming.
wait another 3 years to finally get scroll down notifications.
There is an
And-
iPhone coming, and it's gonna be the 10th year of Apple, but there's no fucking Steve Jobs. Do you trust that? I don't.
No.
Not me.
Not at all.
I don't trust that.
It'd be
I
more
just-
of the
I-
same. They
yeah,
just stay
it-
status quo now.
Johnny Ive, I don't care how many fucking kale shakes he drinks. I don't care how many push-ups he does. He cannot live up to what Steve Jobs has done with that company.
Well, like you were saying, yeah, I lose out on too much from it because I mean I came from all right. I'm an Android fanboy. I've used Android since Froyo, so I just have never been able to live with an iPhone or anything like that. When it was like, all right, it took them a couple of years to be able to copy and paste. It took them another couple of years after that to figure out notifications. There's just like some things that like irk me to no end about that operating system.
That being said, I've owned a few tablets in my time. The iPad owns tablets. It does
yeah.
tablets the best.
Android tablets are a piece of shit.
Yeah, if you want a tablet, the iPad is where you go. And I think that's something to be said because I love the iPad. This is the iPad mini. It's cheap and it works really well. It's got an amazing screen on it, and we've had this forever. Right now, it's basically just a TV remote because we cut our cords. So it's a big-ass TV remote, big, expensive TV remote. But if you're a tablet person, you pretty much already have an iPad. You're not really going anywhere else.
How's the Surface Pro? Doesn't Microsoft have their
Yeah,
own,
that's
tablet,
more of like a
Surface?
laptop thing.
Is that more of a laptop? Okay.
Yeah, but I think that's its best competitor to the iPad.
So I know a
It's the
lot of
Surface
like
One.
sports teams, a lot of like esports stuff. They utilize the Surface Pro.
I think that's because Microsoft is doing like a big, like you see them all over the sidelines on NFL games and basketball games now. I think they're just giving it to them.
Honestly, the one thing I will say is I see a lot of new Apple products being sold, and that's that HomePod thing. That's gonna sell like hotcakes, I think.
HomePod?
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
they released their Google Home or Alexa competitor,
Oh, okay.
and I see that selling like hotcakes. But
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That's what Apple should do. Get into the fucking smart home business. Fuck the computers and the iPhones. You suck at it. You're terrible at it. Get into like functional, nice appliances like an Apple washing machine, Apple refrigerator, Apple fucking light bulb, Apple
Connected smart home.
Apple toilet, Apple sink, Apple guitar, Apple coffee table. Listen to this. This is the best idea I've ever had. Apple, if you're listening, which I know you listen to the No Life Gaming and Tech Show, think of Listen to this. You take the iPad screen. You just stretch it. You make it all glass, see-through glass. You press a button. You press the home button on it. Boom, it turns on. And then you have your day, your calendar, the weather. You just touch it like a fucking screen.
Implement augmented reality into that.
So you mean that old Microsoft table that they made like 6 years ago?
Yeah, but Apple does it. Johnny Ive creating the legs on it and making it look beautiful for your house. Johnny Ive, you should be a furniture developer. What do you do with making phones?
They should team with IKEA.
Yes, IKEA, Apple, fucking cross. Oh my God. You know what? After the show, I'm gonna email Apple with my resume and tell them if they need a new Steve Jobs, I'm here. I got some ideas for you guys.
This has been the No Life Gaming Podcast, sponsored by Apple.
This is the Apple Pornhub. This is.
Yeah, they need to stop trying to do PC things. I don't think it's gonna work for them. Why are they putting in an 18-core Xenon processor with Vega graphics? Makes no sense to me. Let's move on. Actually,
because someone's gonna buy it for $10,000.
that's a good point.
Like someone is.
Because some kid going into art school is going to convince his parents to buy
Bob,
it.
I need the 18 core because Photoshop needs to run faster on my computer. Okay, Mom.
I can't wait to get my degree and find no jobs.
Johnny Ive is my dad, and he made me a coffee table, put a screen on top of it, sold it to me for $100,000. This is the Apple iHome. This is the HomePod. HomePod. That's the name of this thing.
No, that's what the speaker's called.
Oh, new sound of home. How much is this thing? Is there a price for it?
Let me see.
I'm looking at
I don't think so. It's not even available till December.
It's probably going to be 3 times the amount of Alexa.
Yeah.
So you can just, whatever Alexa is, just multiply that by 3. That's what it's going to be.
It's seriously not even out till December.
The golden rule of Apple. Times it by 3.
It looks like a Google Home.
It does. What I'm interested though is they could sell me on it because I do like both of the I like the Google Home a lot, and especially looks wise. I think the Google Home's the best looking. Even looking at this one, Alexa's really cool. Alexa is a fucking terrible speaker. If they actually have good microphones and speakers on this, that is actually a selling point.
Yeah, I like the Google Home, but I'm starting to think it's like really listening to me when I'm not telling it to.
Dude, I'm paranoid of those things. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, like I will talk to someone and then I'll go Google it and it'll just bring it up in the search. Like it listens to you all the time. Wow, that's crazy.
I don't think it's just that. I don't think it's just that because like I notice. I don't know. Also, I'm wondering if we just notice that a lot more often.
No,
but
it's not. It's fucking listening.
I noticed that
Skynet's
too
coming.
with like the Pixel and stuff like that. I'll just like we'll just be talking about something and I'll just go to like search something and it'll just be like one of the first like suggested searches.
It knows.
Dude, Skynet.
It's a little scary. All right, let's end the
Dude,
show.
did we just turn into a conspiracy theory podcast, guys?
Welcome to the Alex
that what
Jones.
my
It could just be. It could just literally
the
be.
Illuminati,
Well,
man.
We're the
Never mind,
Alex
I can't keep
Jones
looking at Apple
Tech
because
and
their
Gaming.
webpage crashed.
The Alex Jones Tech and Gaming spin-off series.
I am a man.
Fucking lizards! It's all the lizard people. They're coming to get me.
Turn the frogs gay!
All right. Apple's turning all the speakers gay. They're turning the speakers gay in your house.
It's all the chemtrails.
That was the No Life Gaming Podcast. Hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to follow us over at No Life's Podcast. Nope, that's not it. At No Life's Gaming on Twitter. Over on Twitch, it's /no_lives. Over on Mixer, aka Beam, it's no_lives. And that's it. Really quick before we leave, we're going to be doing E3 predictions live. When is that again? When are we doing that? Next week?
Sometime next week, yeah.
Saturday, I know so there's one on Saturday, and then Sunday, there's a couple.
Basically, the big ones are Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
Monday and Tuesday are, I think, Sony, Nintendo in the morning. Microsoft is Sunday night, I think, or are they Sunday? I think they're Sunday. And then there's Ubisoft somewhere in there. Bethesda, I think, is Sunday. EA Play is Saturday. So there's a bunch of them coming.
All right, we'll be doing it live, so make sure you come check us out. We'll catch you all later. Peace.
Fucking chemtrails.